Hello and welcome to Paxton Road TV. This is the Paxton Road TV morning of Tottenham Hotspur. The game we just played, Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United, and we are in mourning. I am joined in the house by Mike Hotspur Hustler, Darius 3K, Sean Hurl, Deji Spurs, and Marlon Bashman. And we are, most of us, dressed in black for the occasion. It is now a serious point in this season. Already, 10 games in, very serious. I'm going to start with who actually wants to start this show. I'm going to come to you, Darius. You look like you've got a bit of a smile on your face. I'm trying to smile. I can't smile very well. So I'm going to start with you. I'm just like, well, anyway, before we start, like, subscribe, share, comment. If you're going to join Paxton Road, you're going to have to be part of this. And we have these Avengers assembled again. So, yeah, let's get into this show. Darius,
I think the first thing I'll say, and this wasn't actually going to be the first thing I'll say, but you mentioned obviously 10 games in now. I'm pretty sure we were top of the table 10 games in under Mourinho last season. So that's just a bit of food for thought on where we are. But to be honest, I predicted a loss. And again, me and Deji were just speaking before we went live. I knew what the result was going to be, and I knew sort of how we were going to perform at 4:30 p.m. At 4:30 p.m., I knew what the result was going to be. I saw Davis on the team, I saw Lo Celso in the team, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. And this is now the fourth time for me that Nuno's made a cock up and the lineup, and it's sort of cost us the game. So for me, solely and truly, 100%, I'm completely done with him. I don't care what happens now. If he's in charge, I don't care what happens going forward into this season. For me, he's completely out of his depth, doesn't know what he's doing, isn't choosing the right team, and can't even coach. 0 shots on target. I don't know what to say. 0 shots on target again.
In the second half.
0 shots on the whole game. 0 shots on target.
No, you're joking, aren't you?
9 shots taken, 0 shots on target the whole game. I don't know what to say anymore. The stats don't lie. The performances don't lie. The fans aren't even having any. The stadium, obviously, Sid, wherever you are, was at the stadium sending us voice notes of sort of just the noise that was being made by the fans, and it's damning. Like I said, it's damning. You can't survive this. You cannot survive this many 3-0s. One more thing I'll say before, because I will go on for about 5-10 minutes, and I want to let everybody speak because I do want to hear what people have to say. One more thing I'll say before I let someone else speak is that Man U team, in terms of the team, the squad, it's the best squad since Fergie. But that lineup, that 11 that Ollie put out, was the worst possible lineup he could have put out, and the best possible lineup for us to get a result against. He decided to play 3 at the back, with Wan-Bissaka and Shaw as left and right wing backs, Mock Fred as a double pivot, Bruno, and then a 36 and a 34-year-old striker up front. And you're telling me we couldn't do it? They weren't set up to counter. They weren't set up to keep possession. They were set up to put balls in the box and win a header or two. We dominated possession against them. It wasn't like we dominated play, but we were given the best opportunity to beat this team. They didn't have Van de Beek. They didn't have Lingard. They didn't have Rashford. They didn't have Sancho. They didn't have Martial. They didn't have Pogba. And you're telling me that we still couldn't even have a shot on target. It's beyond embarrassing now. Anybody who wants to give the guy a chance, I'm willing to listen to why you want to give him a chance. But for me, it's completely, utterly done. There's more than Nuno that needs to go. There's board issues, obviously. There's player issues, obviously. But that ain't going to happen anytime soon. And for me, you can see an upturn if you get rid of the manager. And I ain't waiting any longer anymore. So that's me done for now. I just want to hear what everybody else has to say. But for me, Nuno's completely and utterly finished. And I don't know what else to say. I'm just going to shut up now. I'm going to shut up now.
The other thing is, I'm going to let you come in, Deji. The thing is, we had a game midweek. Again, we had a game against Burnley. First clean sheet in a while. We then, had players rested. Obviously, Harry Kane played in that game, but quite a few players didn't play. And then what Nuno then does is goes from a team that's, we know that we had bad results, but try and keep a little bit of a cohesion going with the team. I thought that the last game that Reguilon played, he was decent. Why then would you start Ben Davies?
He was one of the best players. He was one of the best players.
This is to me the head scratching things which I cannot understand. As soon as I saw that, I didn't even see Ben Davies' name. That's how much I just blanked him out of my memory bank. I didn't look at the team sheet and see Ben Davies' name on there. And then somebody pointed it out, and I was like, "Hold on a minute, what's going on?" Reguilon's on the bench. I was absolutely flabbergasted. I couldn't understand what was going on. I'm just going to have to get rid of this top banner here. just so we can all see our faces, because I said, well, I want people to see that we're here clearly. And not to then have, you know, the Man United team who got pammed. I mean, when they got pammed, David De Gea probably stopped them from conceding 10 goals last weekend. They were on the floor from confidence. You could hear what they were saying. Gary Neville was just saying, coming down on the train. The fans were just like, they didn't know what to expect. He then plays a team, as Darius has said, a 3-5-2. It couldn't be any better for us. It couldn't be any better. You've got the two Freds in midfield. You've got Bruno, who doesn't really play midfield, who's now going to be part of the front two anyway. So there's going to be absolute space in there. You've got Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. You know, both of, I don't rate Wan-Bissaka that much. Luke Shaw's been having a terrible season anyway. Wan-Bissaka never really attacks well, but the man's flying up and down that wing. All you've got to do when you're playing against a 3-5-2 is get your fullbacks to press us high, and it will keep them back. When you do press them high, you can then at least create something, because they haven't got anything up front. They've got nothing in midfield, because they would have only had two midfielders, because Bruno Fernandes wasn't playing midfield. And how the hell we allowed them to score 3 goals is really, really beyond me. Nuno is out of his depth. We know that now, and I can clearly see he's way out of his depth. And as I said, I cannot understand what's going on. Deji, can you at least try to make something of that? Something.
Yeah, I will do my best, because I'm still perplexed, actually. And, you know, Darius said something at the beginning. He said, if anybody still thinks Nuno should still be in the job, I would want them to step to me in the street if they saw me in the street. Come to my face and tell me that Nuno should still be in the job from Monday. Now, let me tell you, I'm just going to regurgitate a lot of what you said, and then I'm going to go on. Before we came on, Darius and I, we were speaking. Football is not a difficult game. What we have is we've got these managers that try to bring chess or draft to a simple game of football. All of us at 4:31 saw that lineup and we went, what the heck? Ben Davis is rubbish. Yeah, Lo Celso is a joke team. Now, you said it, Sam. I actually realised and came to the conclusion as to what Nuno did today. And it's away from football. It's called employment law. Let me tell you why. These managers want to get paid, okay? So he couldn't bring himself to walk away from the Spurs job. So what you do is you sabotage the job so that they sack you, so that you get your contract paid. It's employment law, simple things.
Ollie was doing that today then, surely, Deji. Ollie was doing that today with that lineup. Surely, the lineup that Ollie put out, surely he was doing the same thing.
Do you know what? Both of them wanted out. But I think Nuno wanted to get out more than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because I'm looking at Grandad and my other granddad on the pitch up front for Man United. Ronaldo, 36. Cavani, 37. These guys could barely move their legs. Do you get what I'm saying? And yet we were struggling. So for me, Nuno is clueless. You know he's clueless. You know any manager is clueless. I would have said this about any of you in this call. When you bring on Dele Alli, I said it a few weeks ago.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Didn't get in the Bournemouth team. How the hell did he get on today when we're losing 2-0 to Manchester United? The thing is, this is the remnants of, we've got to accept that Tottenham is in a relegation dogfight. And you guys might be thinking, oh, Deji, Spurs, you're over-exaggerating. Let me just put things into perspective, because I think you lot have been going about this a bit too nice. We've played 10 matches and we've lost half of the games. Let me say that again. We've played 10 and we've lost half. That means there's 38 matches in the season, and at this rate, we're going to lose 17. We're going to lose 17 games.
Oh, mate.
Guys, so for me, Nuno needs to get out. The Avengers assembled on this call needs to walk over to Enfield on Monday. We're demanding to do the job. We're demanding to do the job for free or pay as you go. No win, no fee. That I don't care but we want the job right now. We talked about this. Look, Son, I love Son. He's my favourite player. There was only one player from Tottenham Hotspur who I felt sorry for today. Romero. That guy is 5-star. We are lucky that we've got Romero. Lucky.
So true.
Everybody else, including my favourite player, Son, he has to look at himself in the shower tonight, was garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't look at Kane's little pass. They're not on it. Nuno, it's not working. We need a new manager now. If not, face 17. We're staring 17 matches in the... Guys, at this rate, quickly, because this is the last thing I got to say before we move on. At this rate, remember I said that I thought Crystal Palace was better than Spurs, and I've been proved right. I'm going to make another prediction on this call. I actually will go as far as to say if we play Norwich tomorrow, we lose to Norwich. Because Kane's not interested. Lucas Moura looks like he's running from here to Tottenham Hale Station when he's on the pitch. Tom's not interested. Hoiberg, I don't know what he's doing.
That's concerning.
Skip can keep skipping. Dele Alli, we don't know what he's about. Eric Dyer is diazepam. Ben Davis, forget it. And Emerson, there's nothing royal about Emerson. And that's all I've got to say.
He didn't even play that bad, Deji.
I was going to say, Emerson didn't even play that bad.
No, he played well.
I don't think Romero played that bad. Dyer didn't really play that bad. But Ben Davis, why? I'm going to single him out. And I'm also going to single out Harry Kane. I'm also going to single out
Hoiberg.
I'm going to single out Hoiberg. But I'm going to give Hoiberg a little bit of credit in the bank.
Credit in the bank.
No, hold on. Let me give you the reasons why. Because that guy has been a general for us.
Mm-hmm. Not this
when
year.
I say general.
Come on, Marlon.
He's played pretty much all the games and he's been solid. I'm not gonna throw shade on him. He's been solid for us. That double pivot has been solid. Them players are allowed to have bad days, but what we don't want them to do is have a bad day when you're playing a team like Manchester United who were pants. Now,
awful.
They were bad. They were bad. From the start of the game, I put down KG start from Man U 3-5-2. But in that 3-5-2, they didn't press us. They had Ronaldo, as you said, two granddads up front who weren't really looking to press us. They had McFred in midfield who weren't looking to press us. They were looking to contain a Spurs team that didn't need containing. They could have just said to us, go on, have the ball, do what you want. We were never, ever going to score today. I'm just looking at what you just told me. When you said there was no shots on target, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. But I'm looking and I'm going to put them up in a minute. But that, to me, at home against the team, remember, every other team have scored against them pretty much. They've had one clean sheet this season in 15 games.
There's only
one clean sheet. Come on.
There's only one reason he's put Davis, though. There's only one reason he's played Davis today, and that is because he thinks Davis must be a better defensive player than Reggie.
But he's not.
Both of them are poor defensively, mate. Like
Reguilón's better than Davis, so that's the thing. There's no reason for Davis to play anymore.
So
it's a flip of a coin.
This is where the tactical ineptness of...
Oh, we've lost him.
Nuno. Having past 5 or 6 games of Manchester United, they have been shocking. So why would you not plan to attack them at home? I'm not saying we're not at Old Trafford. We're at home. We're at home. We haven't had no shots on target, guys.
0 shots.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. We've scored 9 goals in 10 Premier League games and conceded 16. We are in a major problem. I'll come to you, Mike. You can tell me what you want to tell me because I cannot talk about this any longer because it's heartbreaking.
I don't even know where to begin, mate. I'm going to start off with his team selection. I didn't go in the group chats. I didn't say anything, but as soon as I saw the comments, Davies is starting and Lascelles is starting, and Ndombele and Reggie on the bench. I was kind of what's the word? I was
nervous.
Scared. I was scared.
I don't understand. There is no rationale as to why Reguilón and Ndombele didn't start today. I don't I don't get it. It just, as I say, it just baffles me. I thought we played all right. Sort of the first maybe 20, 25 minutes, insofar as it just seemed like, I don't know, both teams were lacking in confidence. So we had quite a lot of possession. We didn't do much with it. But then the game wore on. The final, again, I go back down to the final third, the final ball. It's just not. It's just that moment that Kane had trying to chip it. What's he trying to do? A confident Kane in the 18-yard box is shooting, but it's terrible. The problem is, right, where we are now is we've had 4 games where we've lost 3-0, and this is the first game that we've not had a shot on target in 90 minutes. Normally
against a team that have been battered by every team.
Remember the stats that they said?
Oh wow,
they didn't play well. But you could argue in their favour when you've got Ronaldo up. When you've got a player like Ronaldo, if you've got 2 crap teams playing, Ronaldo could be that difference. And I mean, his first goal, how's he scoring from that? How's he? It's a good goal from his perspective, but how's Lloris getting beaten from there? I mean, how narrow did he? I'm expecting my keeper to do better from that. I'm sorry, from that tight angle, get anything in the way. Just kick it if you have to. You'd probably be better off kicking it than trying to dive for it. But mate, the thing where we're now at is, as I was going back, where we're now is we've lost 4 games at 3-0. It can't go on. That's it. It can't go on. We've had, this is the first game where we've not had a shot on goal at home. At home, you could probably say, and this is clutching at straws, that you might accept it if it was at Old Trafford. But that's, again, you're clutching. You're clutching.
Yeah, you really are. That's what I'm saying. Go on, sorry.
If we don't resolve this issue now, then our season is it might as well not bother going on. You might as well just say that's it. The season's done. Cancel the cups that we're in. Just wipe it all clean and just treat the rest of the season as a pre-season. Because
play the youth.
Play the youth.
Let me
but he's got to do something. Dude, unfortunately, I don't like sort of going for managers to lose their jobs or anything like that. But this situation just can't continue. Yeah, something has to happen. So, and all know what that is.
Let me ask Sean: have you seen a worse team performance over a consecutive amount of time in a very short amount of time ever? Because I don't recall seeing. It was bad under Jose, and we've had some bad managers. We've had really bad managers in the past, but I've not seen a consecutive amount of games where the stats have been absolutely damning for us. No shots on target in second half. No shots in the second half. But now to have no shots on target in a whole game at home against a team that were on the floor. Their bellies were on the floor. Sean, what your thoughts are at the moment about this team?
You saw how enthusiastic I was after going through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. That was removed from me at 4:30 this afternoon. Mm-hmm. There was nothing on Wednesday night's performance which justified Ben Davies being picked at left back. All I can think is Nuno was still pissed off at Reguilón for giving away a corner which we failed to defend last week. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I can think of, because a 3-5-2 needs to be attacked down both sides.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Both sides. Reguilón is probably one of the best. I was thinking this is the day Reguilón's going to go through like he did at Sevilla and score a shot from the edge of the box, and he's not even on the bloody field.
It's not rocket science.
Unbelievable. It's not rocket science. No, I'm absolutely fuming. And the only conversation that I want to hear, apart from us trying to work out our, I don't know, the only conversation I want to hear is Daniel Levy saying to Fabio, "You fucking idiot! You made me buy that and get that fucking manager." Yeah. He couldn't get a performance out of a fucking unbelievable.
The thing is, though, Sean, even if who can we get in? The manager situation.
Listen, Mike. Let me finish. I just want to get. Yeah, let him finish, and then I want to get Marlon's view as well.
Yeah.
And before you go on, Sean, let me just get to this super chat first. Thanks, Crocodokes. Thank you for that super chat. Nuno's press conference is underway. He's just said Ben Davies is a bit more consistent. Now, if that is what he said,
I'm gonna have to watch it.
We are going to have to go down and
P45.
I'm gonna move to him. Seriously.
I tell you what, we should be all down Hotspur way on Monday saying, sack the bastard. That is dreadful.
No, that's too good for him. I'm gonna step to him. Me and Deji can go down there together. I'll knock on his door. Deji, squick. Let's get inside. That's all we have to do. Take him out. Take him out. I'm not playing about no more. I'm done with it. Sorry. You can't say that on live TV. He's
been a firefighter since he arrived, but he hasn't got anything left in his hose because he can't fucking motivate these players. Today, so many of them were a shadow of themselves. Hotspur, for me, was invisible. And when they hooked Skip rather than him, I thought, what the hell? But that was just the latest in these terrible substitutions. How the hell was Mora hooked?
He's just made them for the sake of it, mate. There's no
How the hell did Lo
to
Celso stay on for 70 minutes? Lo Celso was pants.
How do you have?
And I love Lo Celso, but he was rubbish. Even I could see that. And I don't know anything about football apart from what I see on the field. That was a disgrace. I never want to see Davis in our team. Jelly must be wondering what the fuck is going on here when I got called onto the field. What the fuck? He couldn't even be picked for Burnley.
I'm gonna have to come to Marlon.
Sean,
just remember this: he had five defenders on the bench, including Doherty and Sanchez. Sanchez. So if there was an opportunity, he may have had to bring. Can you imagine? We started off with Ben Davies, but we had Doherty and Sanchez on the bench as well. No Hill, none of that.
No, he was injured, didn't he?
To make things even worse. Sorry? Sorry, Marlon, I'm going to come to you because you might be lagging a bit. I'm going to come to you. Talk to me.
Do you know, I don't even know why I came on. I ain't got nothing to really say. I feel actually I'm Mr. Positive normally, but yeah, it was quite embarrassing to be fair. As everyone said, when you saw the lineup, I just was like, what the hell? Just prove everyone wrong. I'm in quite a few Spurs groups. I just thinking, please prove everyone wrong with this lineup and make us get the win. But it went from bad to worse. I think the first goal, Davies. I think the second goal, Skip should have just fouled Ronaldo. Take the card. What are you doing? That second goal was crucial. But going on Lo Celso, hit and miss. I think the second half, he had a little burst after the break for about 5 or 10 minutes. He done all right. But then let's think, you should have started Ndombele and Regulon. You can't drop your key players in this game. Yes, United.
Not just key, Marlon. Not just key. Your best players from games before. Regulon, apart from his mistake, the fact is he gave away a corner. If that was Sean was saying, if that was his only error or the only reason why he wasn't playing today, that's criminal in itself. But when you go back, it wasn't even his fault
that we conceded that because Kane was not even doing anything to try and defend that.
But like you said, we need to think about our two holding midfielders, though. I called it in the beginning. It's when you get so much possession, one of them needs to create something.
Marlon, I asked you this question. You know, I know you about the double pivot, but who else are you going to play there? Like, would you play Ndombele there? Would you play Ndombele Hotspur or Ndombele Skip? Because I know what you mean. There is a lack of creativity in that double pivot, but the reason why I'm so adamant that those two have to play is because I've seen when those two don't play and it's worse. So
yeah. No, I see your point. Yeah.
I was just wondering
hold on. No. Hold on. Today they played against Fred and McTominay and they scored 3 goals. Please don't talk to me about a double pivot because they had no creativity in them players. Your front 4 players are what creates. All you got to do is get your players in the right area. If you've got 2 wing backs and they're supposed to be attacking, not wing backs, full back, that's where your creativity comes. They don't have to create. Their job is to stop them scoring, but they scored 3 goals. I don't want to hear nothing about
you're not getting nothing from
because
Davis.
That's nothing to do with that Tottenham team today.
Everyone knows Davis ain't
in the fucking final third. We're shit. We're rubbish. That's the problem we've got. We're not any good in the final third. We did nothing. We got no shots on goal. And it's not just one game. We've had lots and lots and lots and lots of games where we've not had shots. It's not good enough. The creativity has to come from somewhere, but you play to your strengths. You've got players in that squad that are very, very good. We're making them look shocking. It's terrible. We can't continue with this. I'm sorry, but I can't have this with Skip and Højbjerg have probably been our two most consistent players for quite a while this season.
They are, but there is a lack of creativity. There is a lack of creativity. You can, and what Marlon's saying, and I understand what Marlon's saying in terms of you can swap out if you've got sort of the fullbacks not creating. You're not going to take out sort of an attacking midfielder because you need the attacking midfielder. So you have to go deep to the midfield. You could swap Skip or Højbjerg for Ndombele mid-game. There was no reason to suggest that one of those two, like Sean said, Højbjerg was not playing great. There was nothing to suggest that Højbjerg couldn't come off for Ndombele earlier in the game. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no tactical, there's no sort of watching the game and seeing, okay, this is what Man U are doing. Let me now change to sort of better my position and better my chances of beating this team. There's none of that. So I can see where Marlon's coming from. There's just no other alternative for me, which is why I always say Skip and Højbjerg have to be the first two on the sheet because there's nothing else we're not going to play Winks, are we? So
no,
why would play with you? Can't play Ali. You can't play Lascelles. Let me just I want us to continue. Let me just get this super chat in again. Crocodile, thank you very much again. Nuno, we are trying our best. We are trying in a humble way. We ask the supporters to support us. Carl, is he doing this?
I'm not supporting this. I'll say straight up. I'm not supporting this. I'm not supporting this. I'll say that. That's all I'll say.
Deji, you've got a manager.
That is the word of a man who wants away. He wants to go. If you looked at the pre-match interviews with both managers, Ole looked like he wanted his job. And Nuno was going, stumbling over language. It was dreadful. And I just knew from then on, we were in for a difficult afternoon. Bloody hell. I mean, I just can't believe how we have fallen. And it's on the board and it's on the management.
Can I be real? Can I just add to what Sean was just saying? Just in relation to what we're seeing at the moment with Spurs, it's very difficult. I think it's actually difficult to play the way that we're playing, and I'll explain what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I think because I'm on the Tottenham Instagram, and these guys look like they're training, Monday to Friday, and then they turn up on a Saturday or Sunday. If you're training every day, and these are so-called professional footballers, it's virtually impossible not to have a shot on goal. So what I have seen is that Nuno is doing a Space Jam with this team. Not the first one with Michael Jordan, but the second one with LeBron James. That's what he's doing. It's Space Jam. Taking and sucking away the talent. Look, if I was to come into the Tottenham team right now, I would get more out of those players doing a 4-4-2. I'm convinced. I would have at least, with a 4-4-2, got a shot on goal. And I can't believe what I'm about to say. But if we've got no creativity in our team, then let's bloody go and get Sean Dyche. Let's get Sean Dyche right now from Tottenham Hotspur. Because right now, Nuno
plays better football.
Portuguese football is a lot of bullshit. It is utter garbage. How can 11 professional footballers look like they don't know how to play football?
Get Mason and his mates.
The problem is you've got Nuno, who's a manager that is playing, or he's implementing tactics that don't suit his style of his style. He's not an attacking manager, is he? He's not a manager that you've seen in the past where he takes the game to the opposition and attacks. He's not managing Tottenham the Tottenham way. If he went back to the way he sort of implemented the tactics that he had at Wolves, and he adopted that tactics, we might see a better Tottenham. But the problem he's
not allowed to do that though, because he's not allowed to play a 3 at the back, which is a formation that he favoured. Like the board aren't even allowing him to do what he would want to do. They already told him, "I want you to play 4 at the back." So I get what you mean, but like, how can you do it?
This is it though, Darren. So what's the point of him being there?
Exactly. That is what I'm trying to say.
But see, let me just
there is
say,
0 point. So
I understand about Nuno not playing his strategy. I get that, but it's his decision making. That's what's worrying me. His decision making for substitution, decision making for team selection is worrying. It's really, really worrying. It's concerning me because if he's coming out in the press and saying what he's saying now in an interview, as Sean said, he's looking to get out. He can only be, because we all said it. We all said it on the chat. Why is Ben Davies playing? And he's telling us a player that has hardly played this season is more consistent. That's something. There's something wrong there. There's something wrong.
He can't have said that. I'm going to have to watch that press conference. He can't have said that.
Coaching the under-23s or the under-7s.
He should have put Tanganga. He would have got a tune out of Tanganga at left back today, more so than Davis. I would have felt more confident with Tanganga at left back than Davis.
And
but Reguilon should have been there. He should have been there. There is this nonsense about Davis is more consistent. It is. It's just.
At the end of the day, I know those two changes were very important, but I think that we are glossing over a certain someone who I think is completely in the wrong and sort of needs to be sort of held in the spotlight, and that's Harry Kane. And I don't know what you guys feel about Harry Kane, but for me,
he
is angering me to a point where it's almost more than Nuno, because it's very obvious what he's doing to me. I can see what he's doing. I'm sorry. I can see what he's doing.
He's not got confidence, mate. His confidence.
I'm sorry. I can't have that from Harry Kane.
Harry Kane in the penalty box. 9 times out of 10, if he's confident, he'll be hitting that. He'll be shooting that goal without a shadow of doubt.
The issue with Harry Kane
funny around with a dinking to try and dink one over the top of a centre back for Son to try. He'll be like, "Now I'm going to have a shot."
Okay, Big Sean.
No,
but this is the issue.
The dink was caused by the fact that he's lost half a yard of pace over the summer.
It looks like
he hasn't lost the ability to hit.
He never got away from the defender, and he had 3 defenders in front of him. He had nothing else to do at that time. It was a poorly executed pass. Mind you, he was trying to pass the Bergwijn, so it would have probably finished up in my old seat in the back of the fucking sound stand. But I can't. No, I have to say, if Nuno was being brave by dropping Reguilon, he's never going to drop Kane, and Kane probably needs to sit on the bench next week.
And the thing is, the worst thing is about it is, Mike, I get what you mean about sort of the confidence.
Harry Kane on the bench, boys, come on.
Our best performance this year was City.
He's always
Harry Kane. Where was Harry Kane?
He's always hindering performances. If you actually look at what he was doing, especially in the first half, when the ball got to sort of Lucas Moura or Son, he, instead of him going to the box, he was dropping away from the box. So I know what people say. Oh, he's got a lack of support, a lack of creation, a lack of sort of supply. But he's the reason that he's not getting supplied, because he's never in the box to clean up.
How many crosses went in today, and there was nobody in the fucking box, including Harry Kane?
I cannot say that he's not getting the creativity. If he's trying to do everything, you don't need to do everything. Nobody told you that you need to drop in anymore. Stay in the box, and you will take your chances. I guarantee you, Harry Kane will take. But this is the issue. This is the issue. We're going to get caught in a catch-22, because the lack of chances is coming from Kane not staying in the box and being an outlet.
But when he's in the box, you had Emerson out on the right. How many times did he put a ball in the box? It's gone up into row Z on the opposite side of the stand.
As you can see, it's a mess. But for me, I can clearly see that. Well, for me, I can clearly see, and this might be just me, I can clearly see that Kane does not want in. And the sooner he goes, for me, if he doesn't want to be here, the sooner he goes, he has to. You can't stay, like Sean said, we played better without him.
I hear what you're saying. I think Kane doesn't want in under the current rubbish that's going on. I think if we bring back Poch, Kane goes back.
It's not happening, though. It's not happening.
But with would you want to play with Spurs right now?
No. Would you want to coach Spurs right now?
So we can't blame Kane. The whole thing, the whole shit.
Pochettino's not coming back.
Kane getting paid 250 grand. I don't care if you don't want to play. You're getting paid that much money. You're the.
Even if I was Jeff Bezos, mate, I wouldn't want to play under Nuno. That's just the truth. That current system is toxic. It's rotten right now. What we need to do is rescue Pochettino from PSG, and all of those players will start singing. Look, I was telling you about Son. Everybody is off. Like the freezer door was left open. That's what it's looking like right now. So, right now...
Left out overnight. Left out overnight.
Overnight, man.
Let me just come to a couple of super chats, because we're going to continue this. But I need to... The people are really generous tonight. Thank you very much. And again, I'm going to come to David here. Kane is disheartened by Levy's lies about ambition, Dembele not replaced, Eriksen not replaced, Jose sacked before a cup final. ego. Levy has no ambition. David's giving us another super chat here as well. Thank you again. Kane drops deep because he doesn't get service, but he's been dropping deep and doing that for the last couple of seasons or maybe more. He does look interested, but I can't. I think Right's right. We can't throw everything at Kane because
I'm just saying he needs to be held accountable because I'm sorry. We will get onto players for like Dele Alli. Look at Dele Alli. Dele Alli has been multiple times been slated for sort of not flicking the ball around. I've seen Kane. I saw Kane today sort of not even wanting to try, not even really. Like you said, Sean, there was times where, and this might be just down to his lack of pace, but there was times where I was thinking, Harry Kane, you could do something, you could get by there, but it's almost like he doesn't want to, and that's what I'm saying. If we're going to hold certain players accountable for that sort of action on the pitch, I'm not going to let Harry Kane get away with it, even if he does score 20 goals a game, because he's not at the moment. And like you said, Sean, and I agree with this, so true. The best performance I've seen was when we had a dynamic, fluid front three who were all working hard for each other and pressing. I'm not seeing that.
Okay, so hold on. So what are we gonna do? What can we now do in the next? Because I don't know if they're gonna make a knee-jerk decision tonight. But like I said, this cannot continue. We've got who we've got midweek. We've got Vitesse midweek, and we've got them at home. Now, what happens? What happens if we don't win that game? What happens then?
We're out of that competition.
And that's beyond embarrassment. That's beyond embarrassment.
Oh, shit. I forget if we don't win that game, we're out.
I'm getting upset.
We're not even getting second to do the double pivot against the bloody dropouts from the Europa League as well.
Ooh, that's
For
horrible.
God's sake, it's doing my head in this.
That's horrible.
Everything everyone said tonight is right, but
if we lose Thursday,
someone come back on what Darius and I have said, that the best performance we had going forward was Manchester City at home.
It won't work though.
Because and what was the feature? No Harry Kane. Too slow.
3 won't work.
He wants to be somewhere else.
He doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want. We can hold on to the nostalgia that we can hold on to it, but my friend said, so I'll literally finish this. My friend said to me, Harry Kane is not going to have a good season. And I said, come off that. Harry Kane is Harry Kane. He will always score goals. It's been 10 games now. I'm beginning to now suddenly think that he might not actually get 10 goals in the Premier. I can't see where he's going to get where's he going to get the motivation? And then second of all, where's the team going to get the chance creation for him to score goals?
We keep going back to Kane.
I refer you back to Christian Eriksen in his last 18 months at Tottenham. Done. Yeah, he was finished. Yeah, he was pants, and
he was done. You're right.
Yeah, and this is what Harry Kane is now. We have to accept that.
Same thing.
Harry Kane's not got his big move.
But even like I said,
sulking.
We're not creating opportunities for him. But we're not seeing as well. We're not seeing the effort levels because, like I said, sometimes forwards can have not very good games by not scoring, but they can still do other things. Like I keep saying, you can your effort levels, the pressing from the front, what he did with that chip was pants. So, but our final third in general has been awful. It's been awful the last few games anyway. But we can't just say because if we're just blaming Harry Kane for today's defeat, I think that's wrong. There was other players.
I'm not. I'm blaming Nuno for today's defeat. I'm not blaming Harry Kane. I'm just saying that he can't get away with what he's done in this game. But Nuno gets 100%.
We're not blaming the players individually, but we're saying that they should be so much better than they are.
100%. Yeah, I don't blame Harry Kane. I do want to get that.
Sometimes some players are too comfortable at Tottenham, and Harry Kane is one of those.
Let me come to Mike, and then I'm going to come to Marlon because both of you need to have some input into this as well with the Harry Kane situation. Go on, Mike.
No, all I was just going to ask is, we're talking about Harry Kane and his effort levels, but who put the effort into there apart from probably Romero and Emerson? Other than that, you could probably say Skip's put in the effort, but he was just pony. But
I think Lucas.
Come on, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. There's another kid you're going to fucking destroy, are you? Don't ever do that to Skip. He was made the monkey for their second goal, and it was a pass from Højbjerg aimed at his chest.
Listen to what I said.
Højbjerg should have been hooked.
I said, apart from Skip, Emerson, and Romero, who else put the effort levels in?
True.
I didn't say he didn't put the effort levels in.
No,
but he did.
Well, that's not what I'm hearing. Sorry, Mike. There's a
blatant problem. Like I said, there's an issue with the players and the effort levels. Like you said, there's only 3 players I can point out, in my opinion, that played semi well, and 3,
I thought Kane
Romero
played
and
alright.
Emerson. Skip, I think, put the
Hold
effort
on.
in.
What did you say, Marlon? What
I
did you
think
sorry,
Kane played
Darren.
all right.
Who?
You think
Kane
played all right?
Who?
Tell me why you think. Tell me why you think. That's all I
It's
want to
only
know.
so
Tell me why.
it's only so much you can do if you're not really getting the service, isn't it? So he drops back, and he was putting in challenges as well. You can't. I think what people are basing this whole Kane performances on what he done last year. Realistically, last year, if we didn't have someone Kane, we wouldn't be doing as good as we were. But I think this year you can't just base it all on Kane. It's not just about Kane. I think the whole team needs to be a bit better with pressing and creating chances. It's not just about Kane.
But
Marlon, all I'll say to that,
Yeah.
is, Marlon, I would 100%, 1,000,000% agree with you if everything in the summer didn't happen with him not coming to training.
Okay.
All that stuff that happened is the reason why I'm sort of following this on into the season. If none of that happened, I would 100% agree
But
with
you
you. That's all I'm
can't
gonna say.
hold it against him for the whole season, though,
He
can
didn't-
we? Like,
But
it's
he
done.
didn't. But
It's
he's
like,
not
forget about
performing.
that.
He's not performing.
forget.
But
Yeah,
why
no
is he
one
not
is.
performing then?
No
Why is he
one
not
is
performing then?
performing. Son's not
If
performing.
we were in
Son
charge,
is performing. Son is
Hold on,
performing.
is Harry Kane untouchable?
He's
No,
not
but
performing. Harry
no,
Kane's
It's a
not
collective.
performing.
It's a collective. No one's performing at the moment. That's why we're not getting
The
shots on
fault
goal. That's
lies at
why
the
the
management
final.
and the decisions made to appoint this manager. But Harry Kane is not untouchable.
No, we're not saying that, Sean.
No.
At the
It's
corner.
I'm not saying that.
No,
That's
but
not
I'm
what we're
just
saying.
suggesting that he's
That's not
untouchable.
what. It's not what we're
Deji
saying.
come in. Deji,
I'll tell you what,
Talk to me.
I'll tell you one mistake. They shouldn't have took off Lucas today. No way.
Yeah, look, I hear what everyone is saying, but I think the key thing here, and let's not lose sight of the bigger picture. A lot of those players look disinterested. That is down to the management. Simple.
Yeah.
What you're seeing with the players is that they don't respect Nuno, because if that was Pep, I guarantee you they're running all over the place. If that was Jurgen Klopp, they're running all over the place. They don't respect Nuno because they don't understand what Nuno's trying to do, the style he's trying to play, what he's trying to implement. So when you know and you can see that, you make quick decisions. I said to you guys a few weeks ago, and I'm going to keep saying it. You can tell the signs of the football team, Spurs in particular, pre-season. I went to see us play Colchester, and we were utter garbage. We won 3-0, but that's because Colchester is royally shit. That's why we won 3-0. And I haven't seen anything different in this Spurs team since that Colchester game. So we know we've got the wrong man. We've got to put our hand up and say, Levy, get rid of Nuno. There's talk about who can we bring in. I think we're going to have to be a little bit more ambitious. I think we bring back Tim Sherwood or we get Sean Dyche.
Mason.
No,
are we looking at Ryan Mason? Is that realistic? Let me ask. Is Ryan Mason? Hold on, lads, because we're gonna have to talk about this seriously now. We are gonna have to talk about this seriously. If we just get rid of Nuno, as a manager in world football, unless I was desperate, like maybe Sam Allardyce or Steve Bruce, who might want to come back in, who else are we going to get realistically? So they're going to probably appoint from within, and that's likely to be, I hate to say it because I can't have it, but Ryan Mason might be an option. Do you think that's a realistic possibility, Sean?
Hell no.
He's got quite a good win percentage. It's better than Nuno.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I mean, only as a caretaker, I think. I heard that Ryan Mason is in line for the Charlton job, so I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm sure there's someone who'd want to do the job. We may dream about Pochettino, but he's not coming. And to be fair, I wouldn't wish it on Pochettino. He's gone away to win some trophies and get the monkey off his back, and let him do that at PSG. But I don't. I'm sure there's someone out there. Paratici is supposed to have the best contact book in world football, so let him find a manager for us. But let's get.
Who's going to come? But realistically, of a top manager, Mike, as a top manager, who's going to come to Spurs? Who would realistically come to Spurs?
Firstly, there's no way Poch is leaving PSG. He's only lost one game this season, hasn't he? So why is he going to leave PSG when essentially they're doing pretty well? Realistically, there is not a top manager that's going to come in.
No.
Conte, he's not. He's just another
one, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Darius, tell me there's someone in South America
It's Marcelo Gallardo, but I mean he's not available
Gallardo.
till December. But I mean he doesn't even speak English, and
It's not going to work. That
risk.
won't work.
That's
It's
a
not
risk.
going to work.
The
That won't
realistic
work.
manager that I would like to see in, but I just can't. I don't see why he would want to take it unless Tottenham threw money in, which Levy's never going to do. Would be Ten Hag.
Okay, let me throw this one out there. Let me throw this one out there. Leeds are not doing very well at the moment. Marcelo Bielsa. What about Bielsa?
Okay, the only reason I'll say yes is because I'd rather watch my team lose. I would rather watch my team lose 3-1, 3-0.
But at least we'd be attacking.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather watch us lose 3-0 like that than us lose 3-0 like Nuno.
And we would be fit as a butcher's dog as well.
And he's got quality in the team, so I think he would definitely be better. I think Leeds.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
We've got
Let's be realistic. We
That's
don't want
what
him.
I'm saying. I wouldn't want him, but I would rather him than Nuno right now. 1,000,000%.
We could have got Potter in the summer potentially, but he's not going to want to leave now. Why is he going to leave when he's onto a good thing with Brighton at the moment? There's no manager that's going to think, oh yeah, I'm going to walk away from this current job, because most of the managers that are good in the game are going to be tied up. So there's not going to be anyone that's in the game that's going to think, yeah, I'll leave this club to go to Tottenham.
I would. The thing is that I'm thinking Paratici, but there's no reason for Mancini, sort of people like Mancini and Luis Enrique, to leave their international clubs as well. So it's like
there's nobody going to leave a job. Why are they going to leave a job? You're going to have to pay them a lot of money and the club a lot of money to get somebody in a job who's doing well. Why would you do that? You wouldn't do it unless you're going to get paid a shed load of money and you pay the club a shed load of money. So that's what I'm saying.
We paid the previous manager a shed load of money.
I know, Sean. This is the problem.
We're stuck with Nuno.
We're stuck, and I think you might, right. I think you're right. Marlon, is there any? I'm dressing in black until then. I'm dressing in black. Marlon, who do you think there's an option there available to us as a quick fix? Because I don't even think there's a quick fix. It's a long-term process with this, but we've always been saying that there's a cycle of the processes. But who could potentially? Because I think we have to be realistic now. The game's coming up. We've got Vitesse. If we don't win that game, we're out of. Let me say this again. We're out of the Conference League. I'll say this again.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want to be in there in the first place.
If we lose to Vitesse, we, Tottenham Hotspur, are out of
the 13th ranked team in Europe.
So I'm going to come to you, Marlon, with that. I'm going to come to you.
What was the question again? Sorry.
Who could we bring in? Who could we bring in?
I think it only can be Mason at the moment, to be fair. Because he knows the man said what I'm doing. Look, he knows the players. He knows the players and he's around the squad. It only can be Mason.
I'd rather have Chris Powell.
Oh, true. Chris Powell. Get Chris Powell in then.
It wouldn't happen. I think Mason possibly steady the ship and at least will be a bit more stable. Trust me. Look what he done last year. Do you know what?
No, we can't have Mason.
Run out of options, and least he'll be a lot more attacking than this.
What do you mean?
Let him explain it. I want to hear it. Deji, let him explain. I'll put him back on solo again. Explain, please, Marlon. Explain.
Listen, I've been positive for a while, but that performance today it's thrown me. That's why I've been silent. I'm lost. We should never be losing at home 3-0 to Man U that's under pressure like this. They played so defensive, it's unbelievable. Yes, they kind of blocked all avenues for us to attack and break it down. But I think, as I said, the decisions to start Davies and Lo Celso just killed everyone's momentum. Even when the other players came on, they just looked pissed off. On Don Bailey looked pissed. There was a shot of Reguilon on the bench. He looked pissed. And the reaction when Lo Celso came off from the fans, this killed it all for me. I think, you know what? Yeah. You're losing. Even I was backing you, Nuno, but you just lost it there, man.
Let me just give a shout out to Dara for this super chat as well. Thank you, Dara. The old Dortmund manager, I forget his name. Anybody know what his name is?
Lucien Favre, I believe he's talking about.
Okay.
Which wouldn't be a good. I don't think that'd be a good choice, Lucien Favre, just because he's like Bielsa.
Right, go on.
Ricky Villa here, THFC. He did put in a super chat a little bit higher up, but I don't know if we spotted it or not.
It was just a super chat.
Did he put?
There wasn't a message. No, there wasn't a message like I saw. But I did.
He put the message in later.
So I'm going to read this message out. So thank you, Ricky, for that super chat. You didn't put a message in, but I'm going to read this one. I think this one. Ten Hag doesn't want to come. I live in Netherlands. He is happy here. I'd be happy too if I was in the Netherlands.
I completely agree.
You could get yourself a few things out there, nice and to be relaxed as anything.
Space, the old cookies, eh?
What are we doing?
On the space cakes.
We're seriously talking about Ryan Mason as a serious option.
No, he's not a serious option. He's not an option.
It's a serious option.
I'm cool with that.
It is a serious option. It is a serious option. If we were to sack Nuno right now, Ryan Mason will be in charge. He will be in charge.
What about Steven Gerrard? Someone put in the chat. Steven Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard's not coming. Steven Gerrard's not coming to Tottenham.
We should consider is Steven Gerrard.
He will not come.
No, he's on
Gerrard is a serious option.
He is a good manager, but he will not come.
You know what I mean? I think
Brendan Rodgers will
I
not
think he
come.
might just see it as a challenge before he takes the job at Liverpool. And I think, that's the sort of forward thinking. Look, Crystal Palace brought in Patrick Vieira. Who would have given Patrick Vieira a chance? But look at the football Crystal Palace is playing. Sometimes you just got to look ahead. Steven Gerrard, there's something in his eye. There's a bit of grit. And you just know that he'll find some of them gems. Maybe under Steven Gerrard, we get Anderson in defence. Maybe under Steven Gerrard, we get an Eze type. Because for me, we're getting all these flamboyant players that can't play football. But really, what we can do, we just need a manager who can go into the Championship, pick 3 or 4 players who are hungry from the likes of Crystal Palace, from the likes of Sheffield United, and put them in our team. These guys are overpaid guys who are not interested. What I want is some hungry, young dons.
Can I ask a question then? Is it a case of if we were playing attacking football and losing this game, would we give Nuno more credit? I think it's a lot to do with the style of football and the effectiveness of his front play. Remember, Nuno's
the manner of defeats, mate.
It's the manner of the. But Nuno's a goalkeeper, so his whole aspect of looking at the game is from that aspect of it. He's not an attacker. Usually, you find, and I can't label it completely, but he tends to be more of a defensive type manager if you've got a defensive head on you, and he clearly has. But would he get a little bit more kudos if he went out? And let's say we went out today, had 20 odd shots, 10 on target, but lost the game 3-2. Would we look back and say, you know what? At least I can see he's giving the effort, because I think he would. We cannot go with this turgid football completely. What's your thoughts, Darius, on that?
100%. And also, if you're taking, like I said, any team that's taking 15, 20 plus shots on target or at goal, it's a sign that you're actually playing decent football and that you're probably going to score a goal. And any team that's taking less than 12 shots, you're relying on a lot of quality. So I say, and I use Wolves as an example. Wolves lost their first 3 games, but they battered Man U, they battered us, and I can't remember who else they played. And they're now doing okay, I guess. So for me, if you're playing defensive football and you're not winning games, there's nothing to fall back on. And I said this under Jose's tenure for however long. You can play a bad style of football and you win games and no one will say anything. As soon as you start losing games, people will say something. However, if you are playing good quality football, or at least football that's showing that you're still creating chances and at least attempting to score goals, then you will be given a chance. Bielsa will be given a chance because, and this season is not really a good example, but last season, games that they were winning, games that they were losing, they were still creating chances. There was still an opportunity. Brighton, again, they lost to City, what was it, 4-1 recently? But in that second half, I watched that second half with Brighton with a better team. They could have won that game had things gone that way. Liverpool, it went their way. They got the point. So fortune will benefit those who obviously take more shots and create more chances. At the end of the day, the less shots you take, you will automatically be in a less position to sort of do well and score. And that's basically what's happened to us. Our chance creation is so low, and it has been for quite a while now. Under Jose, our chance creation wasn't that high, but at least Kane and Son were extremely clinical that season. They were ridiculous that season, and now that's dried up. We're left with pretty much nothing. So yeah.
I'm just gonna. I don't want to.
Used to say, "Be brave."
Yeah, let me just come to the super chat. Let me just come to the super chat. I want you to come on next, Sean. Awesome. Or he sent this super chat in. It said, "Thank you very much." By the way, Tottenham's 12 position level. Tottenham is done as a football club. West Ham, Newcastle are all getting new owners to better their club, while Tottenham cannot handle the conference, and he's spot on with that. We had over 140 people in the chat at this time. Thank you for sticking with us. We really appreciate that. We're just gonna, we're using this, and I think is therapy, because I have to, because otherwise you end up just crying. What would you do? after seeing the amount of football that we've seen over the past week, this is not a one-off. And this is what I keep saying. If it was a one-off, you can kind of say, okay, Nuno, I understand. But this is not a one-off. This is this is a style of football and an ineffective style of football in the final third. Mike, sorry, let me come to Sean first and I'll come back to you, Mike. What do you want to see next in terms of, I guess, the next game? Because we can only look at the next game. Let's forget about this manager situation because I don't know if they're going to make this decision now, but we are going to see the pressure continuously build up on this guy. What does he have to do in the next game apart from obviously just win? Is it a case of getting the team just to attack and forget about the defensive side of things? What do you think he needs to do?
I think he needs to go with his philosophy, as Darius said. He needs to play a back three. He needs to be an offensive 3-5-2, whatever he has to choose. He has to play. He's going to have to play some of our strongest players. So yes, the first team doesn't get a rest on Thursday night because if we want to get through this trophy, and I know Darius has less enthusiasm about it than I do. I think I want to see an attacking performance. I want to see. Do you know what was really, really noticeable today was the lack of pace on our passing. We did attempt to do some through balls, but they were just so weak. I mean, there was one from Lo Celso, and it took an age to get across the field. And by the time it arrived, I think it was at Son, Manchester United would just reset. There's no pace on the ball. And when there is pace on the ball, it's usually at my player's chest. I just want to see combinations. I want to see them this week working on how we get the ball in the back of the bloody net.
100%.
Yeah.
That's all I've been asking for.
100%. Mike, what's your thoughts?
What do I want to see the next game? Mate, I'll be honest. I'm kind of at that point where I don't want to see Nuno in charge anymore.
Simple as that.
I can't. It's a case of if it was just the first or the second time, I'd be like, you know what, I can accept 1 or 2 defeats of a 3-0. But mate, we've played 10 games and we've lost 4 of them by 3 goals. I'm done. This can't go on. We haven't had a shot on goal. If we lose on Thursday, we are out of the conference. This is a conference. This is third tier of European football. We can't risk it. I know it's a case of, well, who would you bring in? And you could argue, well, if you bring in another manager, it's just going to be the same issues. And yeah, that might be the case. But if we had a manager that played or had the style of football that Tottenham Hotspur is used to, at least we'll see shots on goal. And I could handle losing 1 or 2-0 if I'm seeing the opposition's goal at least getting peppered more than what we're doing now. But I don't want to risk us getting knocked out of any competition. Whether it's the Carabao Cup, I know you can laugh and say, oh, it's the League Cup, don't worry about it. No, I want us to win that. The Conference Cup, we're in it. Let's win it. I'm done, mate. I am. I'm seriously done with no shots on goal at home. Man United, team that are just lacking in confidence. It's like it just can't go on, Sam. It can't go on for me. I'm zoned out. I'm at that point where I'm
zoning out. But let's okay. Are we seeing them? I'll ask you. Are we saying that all the players? Because I can clearly see some of the players are disinterested in playing for Nuno. You look at Dele Alli when he came on. He just looked like I'm just going to go on and run around a bit. Maybe I'll hide because he didn't do anything. So I'm not sure. But I don't think
he made a run into the box. He made a run into the box.
Oh wow!
He went that bad.
He made a run into the box. Thanks very much for that.
I
can't wait to see that run in the. I cannot wait to see that run in the box on match of the day tonight. I'm going to look out for that.
I'm not watching match of the day.
Marlon, please. I know you're trying to be positive with me here, but I'm not even being positive. Please. You can't tell me about
a run into the box. Good man.
Marlon, please. Are all the players completely not playing for this manager now?
No, obviously Weeks and Ali, but I think he might have lost on Ndombele again. Ndombele, I don't know with him.
He will have lost him today, yep.
I think he lost him today. I think he might have lost.
He's been playing well.
Yeah, he might have lost Reguilon as well. They're just silly changes. He should never have made those changes. Just go with your strongest team. You didn't play them. Hold on. Ndombele came on against Burnley, didn't he? And Reguilon played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Reguilon played against Burnley.
No.
He should just went for his strongest team. Davis, that was suicidal. Never play him. He needs to stay out of the team, but yeah. A few players he might have lost today. Let's just see. Maybe a change is needed.
Thanks, Deji.
Yeah, guys, just wanted to make a couple of observations quite quickly. I think some guys, you know, I think we need to be Tottenham Hotspur. We need to be passionate. We need to be ambitious. I'm hearing people talking about Thursday. What the hell are you talking about Thursday for? Well, that's a Mickey Mouse Cup. That and the Carabao Cup. We were in the Champions League final a couple years ago, and you want to tell me about third-tier European football? Guys,
We're a Mickey Mouse club, Dizzy. We're a Mickey Mouse club.
Mickey Mouse manager at the moment.
But I actually think we should be the managers of Tottenham Hotspur. And I know it sounds a little bit outrageous, but we all saw the lineup today and we went, we're going to lose. So what those players need is real fans behind them, showing them the passion, showing them the love for the club, and then you're going to see them running around like little remote control cars, going out on the pitch doing their thing. Because I don't give a damn. I don't think there is a manager in world football ready to come to Spurs right now. But I think any one of us on this panel or any other show on YouTube could take over Tottenham Hotspur and get more out of these players than Jose and Nuno combined. We need to start a movement, guys. We need to take our club back. Stop leaving it to Levy. He ain't got a clue. Stop leaving it to a manager that doesn't give a shit about our club. We need our club back and we need to take control now.
That's all I can do.
I wish I had a lighter. I'd put my lighters in the air.
Yeah,
I wish I had my lighters.
That's a proper lighter moment. That's a double lighter moment for me right there.
I wish
That's
I
a clip moment. That's a clip moment.
Put 2 lighters in the air.
Right, I'm gonna come around to all of you, and you can go on for as long as you want, because like I said, I want this energy to come up because it's helping me. It's helping me in a way, but then again, I don't want to have to then come off and again. I'm not even going to watch Match of the Day tonight because I don't want to see that run in the box from Delhi tonight. Marlon, that run in the box.
It's not going to make it. That's on the edge. That's on the floor.
Oh my god!
Clip.
Mike, what's next? What's next?
Mate, I honestly don't know. Honestly, what does Nuno do? That I just don't. He's not going to be able to change much between now and Thursday. So you could say we're stuffed for Thursday. Don't be surprised if we lose that game. I think mate, I don't know. I don't know what's next. I think
that's hard. That's hard.
Mate, this is not often that we get that I'm sort of lost for words, but I think the board have to think very carefully as to what their next actions are, because we can't. If we stay with Nuno, we are very prone to getting. There'll be more 3-0 defeats, 100%. If anyone, and I don't promote gambling, but if he was a gambling man and Nuno stood in charge, you've probably be a good odds for us to lose 3-0. Put a $5 on it. It's going to happen at some point.
Well, we have got Deji has finance. I was just going to say, Deji, you are our financial advisor. I was going to come to you. You can give us that financial advice when it's yours up next. But Darius, what would you do next? What will you do? What can you do next? What can you do apart from sack the manager and go through that cycle again? We're not going to get. And let's talk about the board. I understand the board is culpable. Don't get me wrong. The board is but people say get the board out. The board will only get themselves out if they get someone to buy the club. So we're not going to get the board out overnight. So we have to think a little bit more logically than that. What can we do in the short term, medium term, to get this team to be playing better football and winning ways?
I know you just didn't say sack. I know you didn't want me to say sack the manager. I know we've literally had 20.
Sorry, guys. Let me just quickly say. Just before that, I almost forgot. Awesome over the super chat again. Thank you very much. If the owners don't care, why should the players care? They don't. Darius.
Because the players get paid about 200 grand a week. But I guess, to be fair, there's only one thing you can do if you want short-term sort of turnaround and you want to see a difference over a week, a month. You have to get rid of the manager, unfortunately, because he's shown to me that he's not going to change tactically. There's no sort of identity, or there's no sort of idea that that's going to suggest to me that he's going to be able to pull out 15, 16, 17 shots a game and 3-4 shots at goal, or 3-4 goals a game. We're on -7 goal difference now, lads. I mean, for me, if we leave getting top 4, top 6, or not top 4, what am I talking about? Top 6, top 8 to points, we're not going to get it, because our goal difference will just be significantly worse than a lot of players, a lot of teams. So I don't really see, if Nuno's in charge, I don't see any way forward for this. I am quite worried now, because the best of our players, like we said, Højbjerg's, Son's, Kane's, are playing not very well. I'd give Son a benefit of the doubt, because Son has played well this season, but in these individual performances, these players are starting to not play very well, and we've lost 3-0, 4 times. There's so many stats I could run off that would just, to me, suggest that there's no time and there's no reason to give this guy any time. So the only decision I can see, and the only decision I can come up with that will sort of give us a quick turnaround or a quick uptake in form, is to get rid of the manager. But then again, like we said, we go to that and then we look at who's available. We look at who would actually come and join us, and would the situation get any better? So we're in a very, 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 very bad situation, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, at the moment. I don't really see a positive out of this. It's going to need a big nuclear bomb. Unfortunately, the whole club needs changing from the bottom all the way to the top, because like you said, I've got no explanation, and when you've got no explanation, you just have to start again, unfortunately, because we've mentioned the manager, we've mentioned the board, we've mentioned the players, we've got rid of managers. The board is the only outstanding thing that we can't get rid of, which is understandable why you can't get rid of them. But again, unless that happens, what's going to change? What is going to change, lads? So unfortunately, sorry to be a downer, sorry to again predict a loss and get it right. Can I just say that as well? It's the second time I predicted a loss, and Tottenham don't let me down. So
don't take credit for that, Darius. I'm not having you come on and say, "Yeah, I got that one right." No chance.
That's all I'm going to say, because that's the sort of level it is. I can predict Tottenham to lose, and they will never let me down, because it's bad. It's bad. We are sinking very, very fast. Sorry to be like this, but we are sinking very, very.
I'm going to thank the viewers for sticking on. We've got over 160 people on the live stream. Fabulous. This is high numbers for us. We really appreciate you watching the show. It's helping. I hope it's helping the viewers. And really, again, thank you for your comments. Trying to get them all up. As you can see, there's a lot of them. Sean, short term, medium term, what can we do?
Very little, it seems. Yeah, the manager needs to go. I mean, unless he's going to get his. Remember when Pochettino first arrived, and he had that poisonous cell within the squad, and it took Ryan Mason of all people to put Kabul up against the wall and tell him you're done here. That changed things and rebuilt that squad. I can't see Nuno even inspiring someone to put anyone against the wall. They're just bereft of desire to play for him. They're just waiting for Levy to act. Levy has made the club unsellable with the price that he will demand. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's one of the reasons Newcastle were bought. They're only 300 million. 100%. Yeah,
guaranteed profit is now.
We are now worth 2 billion. And nobody's going to come and pay that price when you can get clubs in the Premier League who will make you money, and they're a fraction of that cost. So we're stuck with Enid. So
I was just saying,
forget about that.
We've got £1 billion stadium, and obviously there is a lot of income that can come in. If we're looking at the business side of things, Levy and Enoch have done a great job, but that's not about the side of things that's happening on the football pitch. So the club might not be worth 2 billion, but if you look at the assets wise, it's worth a lot of money. So they're not going to undersell. Is what I'm saying.
I want to bring a bit of history to you. I use the benefit of my age, and 1984, after winning the UEFA Cup, Keith Birkinshaw said there used to be a football club down there, and I think that is very telling today. Because they're quite happy with their Anthony Joshua, their NFL games, their Lady Gaga and Guns and Roses or whatever. It's going to make them money. The football club should be the thing that brings people to that stadium, and it's not. It's taking second, third, maybe even fourth place. And as much as Levy claims to be a fan, he's left us in you know, historically, with some of the decisions he's made, the 2 windows where we didn't buy a player, you could almost see Pochettino's face crease and his shoulders slump when he's having to front that out in press conferences. I'm in despair. I can't see, other than getting rid of the manager and we get a new manager bounce, I can't see anything changing. And our best thing is that we finish with 17 wins and 17 defeats and we avoid relegation. I don't think he will let us get relegated.
No, that's the problem.
We're now aiming for 40 points. I can't believe it. I'm saying that. Tottenham Hotspur, the 13th valued most team in Europe, are looking for 40 points.
It's unforgivable. I'm sorry, it's unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
That is the word. It is unforgivable. I can't allow that to happen. Unfortunately, Nuno has to go. If Sean's right.
Well, now you haven't got. That's the thing. We haven't got, unless we get the job. We haven't got any influence over that, apart from putting pressure on. But even then, they're going to make a decision. There's lots of things that need to be solved. But like I said, if we just get rid of the manager now, are we going to get enough out of these players? Because we've seen it happen when Jose went. We got a bit of a bounce from Ruck, but it weren't like we were playing fabulous football. It wasn't like we brought in fabulous players over the summer. We brought in decent players. We've got potential, but the potential isn't going to do anything now. The potential is for the future. But if that potential doesn't make the future, and what I mean by that, if, like I said, I'm not going to talk about that sort of word, but I'm going to move on to Deji. Deji, talk to me. Short term,
boy, you know, I'm even speechless myself, and that's saying something. I think I hear what you're saying. I think short term we got to change it because it's not working anyway. So you can see that. I think what we need, and I think the thing that I can see between Nuno and Jose is that they were managers, not coaches. I think the next appointment needs to be a coach. Someone that can make average players good, not somebody who's taking world-class players.
100,000%.
So
100%.
I think if we can get a coach in, I saw someone in the chat put someone like Hasenhüttl from Southampton, of that ilk. I'm not saying him in particular, but of that ilk that can turn Reguilón into the best left back in the Premier League, Emerson Royale into the best right back in the league, Højbjerg into the best defensive mid. Do you know what I mean? Get Son singing again, get Kane back to where he was. Then that team is, because our team is not bad. It's just we're getting the wrong people at their helm to work with them. So I think we need a coach, somebody low key who can come up and bring them up. Then I think we have a chance. If not, Sean's right. We are scrapping for 40 points. And I think the interesting thing for me would be the game I'm looking forward to is when we play Norwich, because I think that for me, if
Nuno,
you're taking the piss now. You're taking the piss.
No, he's not. He's not. He's not.
No, I mean that. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that disrespect to us. I'm saying he's taking the piss because if we're having to think what's going to happen against Norwich, they're shocking. They're even more shocking than
Norwich outplayed us when they were relegated last time.
I'm just saying.
Oh man!
The predictions out there. If Nuno's in charge and we play Norwich, I'm going to remind everyone about this chat today. So
listen,
that's what needs to happen.
If he doesn't win on Thursday and loses against Everton, he's done.
He's done now. He's done now.
He's on his last leg.
Let me please understand that Ollie put out the worst possible Manchester United team. The worst possible team he could have put out. 3-5-2. And we still couldn't have a shot on target.
But it was defensive though. Come on, 3 defenders.
It was shocking. Wan-Bissaka wing back.
No, Wan-Bissaka played good. He played good today.
But that's what
we rested our best wing back.
Wan-Bissaka didn't play good. He done what Wan-Bissaka does. He's not. I'm not having this Wan-Bissaka thing. He's not good. Watch him. No, seriously, watch his football. He's not good. He's got energy. I don't care about Wan-Bissaka. He's not good. I'm not giving him praise for that. Luke Shaw's rubbish. He's been rubbish all season. We made him look great today. Even the commentators say Luke Shaw's having a good day today. He was rubbish. No, let's not give them too much. We're shit. Let's just look at it. We're shit, and they've got to do something.
We know we are.
We've got to get these players better. Marlon, sorry. You're Thunder now. Go on. Sorry, mate.
My Thunder. I think you got to give Wan-Bissaka. He played some credit. He played good today. But come on, let's be real. They played 3 defenders, and then those 2 holding midfielders. I agree with what Darius said. It was the worst United team I've seen out in a while because their bench was very strong. But we couldn't break them down. That's what concerned me. And I would like to know why Nuno didn't start Ndombele
100%.
and Regulon.
Is Regulon injured?
I need an explanation for that. I don't get it. No, he looked pissed on the bench. I think he just dropped him. You can't start Davies and Lo Celso, because Lo Celso didn't even play good the other night. Anyway, the fans went mad. That's all I know. His job is very much on the line because that stadium looked very rocky today, mate. That's
you heard the booing. You heard the booing when they made certain substitutions. You heard the booing at halftime. It's these are the things. He's not going to survive. You cannot have this. Once this starts happening now, he's done. So for me, because like Darius, I don't think he's going to turn it around in the next couple of games. His style of play is his style of play.
That he's going to do that. Anything suggesting that's going to do that? No.
It's the man.
Sorry, Sean. What were you going to say?
I said, Sam, look at the reaction when they tried to appoint a Gattuso in the summer, and the fans' reaction then. It's the only way we can do it is by sending our emails in, send text, putting the hashtags out. That's the only effect that we can have. If the club starts seeing, it's the only effect we can have.
So I think we've done this before. Unless somebody else comes in and says, "Right, we're going to buy," he's not selling at half price.
I'm not aiming at Enoch, but we put pressure on Enoch to get rid of Nuno.
I guess we could. But any final thoughts, guys? Anybody want to throw in a bit more?
I agree with this comment there. Yeah, Nuno has to hold up his hands.
Has anyone got a flight to Amsterdam booked for me?
Yeah.
I mean, it's only an hour, and I don't know what to say. Honestly, I do. You know the saddest thing about it is all of this is, there's nothing to suggest to me that anything's going to get better. So it's like next week I'm going to go with the exact same mindset. The week after I'm going to go with something needs to change. And unfortunately, the only thing that's going to change is the most likely thing that's going to change is the manager. And I don't want to become Watford. I don't want to actually become Watford. I want us to find a manager that we can build on. But I mean, there will be managers available that will do a much better job than him. And I'm not waiting on Nuno to come good when players and managers are available to be taken up. So that's my only thing.
A question: do people really rate Bergwijn? Because I don't understand this player. I think he needs to go back to Holland.
I just think that you know what it is with me for Bergwijn. The only thing with Bergwijn is he doesn't score any goals because he has no end product. Nobody will look at sort of the performance that he has on the pitch. Bergwijn could have a great performance, but because he won't get that goal or because he'll miss a very big chance, that's what we'll focus on. And if he just got a couple goals, I think people would get off his back. But that's my only opinion.
I'm okay with Bergwijn.
I'm fine with Bergwijn. I think he's
you think that sub today was called for?
The Bergwijn sub wasn't the right sub in my opinion, but Davis should have come off and Ndombele should have come on. I think Skip or Højbjerg should have come off. And again, as much as I wouldn't have brought Ali on, but who else are you going to bring on? Like we had 3 attacking players.
Why isn't Ndombele not on?
He should have come on, but then he should have started.
Well.
It's crazy. Well. We can't justify these.
And Ndombele did come on.
Did Ben Davies play the whole game? Ben Davies played the whole game, didn't he? Ben Davies played the whole game.
Ben Davies played the whole game.
What I'm trying to say is
a model professional. Trust me.
No, hold on. Just going back to the point about the attacking side. That was one of our outlets. But when you're playing a 3-5-2, your fullbacks are your outlet as part of it. Ben Davies hardly got forward. And when he did, he got caught out anyway. So that was an attacking option. So even though he's a defender, is Region, he was an attacking option because Ben Davies was not. But you're playing 1v1 in a 3-5-2 system. And this is what I'm saying. You look at the game, even if you just started with Ben Davies, right, I see now they're playing 3-5-2. All right, then 35 minutes on. Oh, he's made a mistake. Take him off.
Hook him at half time.
That's what I'm saying. But he's not doing these things.
As soon as he runs past the halfway line, he gets a nosebleed, doesn't he?
He does get a nosebleed, and that's what I'm saying.
Can't have that as a fullback.
So Nuno doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. And Man United are playing a 3-5-2, which Nuno knows how to play. Why not match them up? There's so many things he can do in the game, which he doesn't do. His in-game management is absolutely terrible. It's terrible. He was there like this. Well, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
What are the positives you lot got? Who played well for you lot?
Romero's well.
I hold him at fault for that second goal, though. Was it second or third? I can't remember.
But he is a world-class defender. He's exactly what we need. He is a don. In fact, the whole match, I was thinking, I feel so sorry for you. You've come from a fantastic team at Atalanta, and you've come to Tottenham Hotspur. This is a joke. Romero was world-class. Emerson needs a little bit more confidence. I still think Tomiyasu is better than Emerson Royale. I'm not going to lie.
No way.
So I'm still scratching my head as to why we didn't pay the 18 mil for Tomiyasu, but that's another show. So for me, Romero is a class act. Everyone else is average.
I thought Dyer played well as well.
Who?
I thought that was all right. I thought he was all right. Like I said, he was all right.
Dyer just got something over him. I think Dyer played well.
You guys are not ambitious. Sorry. I'm ambitious, man.
We need the job. We need all 6 of us here. We need to do something so we can actually, when Man United rushed the stadium and they just rushed the stadium and broke in, we need to do something like that. Just get on the pitch and say, yeah, we're here. We're going to stay here until something changes. Because the other thing is, like, it's mad.
Romero does need a partner. He needs a top-class centre-back that complements him. So if you've got Romero being the aggressor, you need a top-class centre-back who can just cover him behind the sweep up. Dyer
I can't hold these losses on the defence. I think it's just going forward. I don't think the defence.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I think the issue is that back. It's going forward.
Come on, man. It's going forward, bro. We're not creating
0 shots on target.
Come on, we've got these creative players and we're not shooting on goal. What the hell is going on? I'm playing chat, man. I've had enough.
Listen, we're up to 199 on the chat here. We're at 199 in the lives. 199 in the lives. People are still wanting more of this, lads. They're wanting more of this, but I don't know how much more I can give you. I don't know how much. I can't give you anything. I can't do it.
Damn.
Yes.
To bring the spirit of Sid to the discussion, and we're on the road to nowhere.
Yeah,
we're bantering. It's bad when we're bantering ourselves, isn't it?
We are bantering ourselves, Mike. You're right. It's bad when you're bantering yourselves. That's how bad.
Yeah, but that's Tottenham. That's Tottenham. Historically, we banter ourselves.
Literally Tottenham.
Welcome, come to it. Painful. Welcome to my world. 50 years of going to White Hart Lane.
It doesn't have to be this way. We need to demand.
Doesn't have to be this way.
We need to demand what we want. Look,
we get Deji a tracksuit and we get him in.
All
sneak him in.
To you guys and how you're analysing the game, how you're breaking it down, what you would have done. I can tell you now, God is my witness. If one of you was in charge, I would sleep at night. You have an idea about football.
Desi, I love you, brother, but no, not me.
Mate, even you, the way you were talking about what you would have done, how easy it was to see the 3-5-2. Bloody hell, music to my ears. Nuno, whoever they bring in, ain't got a bloody clue because they're making so much money. They don't give a damn. This is entertainment for them. For them, it's entertainment. We've been on there 1 hour and 23 minutes on a bloody Saturday evening. Now, I just Miss Come Dance With Me. That's what I've done, yeah? Miss Come Dance With Me or whatever
9 o'clock.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so angry.
I'm angry.
We need something. We need something new to come in. It needs to be the fans. The first club in football where the fans take over through the movement of this platform. Sam, Mike, Sean, Marlon to a certain extent.
No, but you need someone to be there on a Monday. Cheer us up.
The voice of reason.
We need Marlon. We need Marlon. Marlon makes me. He gives me things to think about.
Because we would be cancelled if it wasn't for Marlon. We would be cancelled. He brings a calm air to us. Because if not, I think we'd be going on very, very, very big tirades, and I don't know if I want YouTube to see that yet.
We're not ready for that yet.
I haven't been that calm today. I don't know. I just think,
and that's what's concerning me the most, Marlon. When you're saying stuff like, "Yo, it's time to go," I'm thinking, "Wow,
yeah." Before we go, this has got to be the best one. Marlon, you gave me the best one today. You said, Danny did all right. He made that run into the box. That, for me, has to be the one. I don't care what anybody else says ever again in their lives. That is the one. That's the one to me. That's just quality. Absolute genius.
I needed this. I needed this, lads. I needed this.
Sadly for Marlon, it's not going to be your match of the day tonight.
I needed this.
I did need that. Gentlemen, I think we have to go now because I think we just need to get ourselves lower, get ourselves back in, and start thinking about what it is that we're going to look forward to seeing, because I don't know what more.
There's nothing to look forward to at this moment in time. Whilst we're under Nuno, there's nothing to look forward to, mate. If we win against Betis, it'll be 1-0. It'll be literally back to the wall for 60, 70 minutes, one shot on target, one shot on goal. That'll be how we win if we do. And I can't see anything drastic changing. There's nothing. Unless Nuno goes to 3-5-2 and starts playing the way he's used to, like playing back at Wolves days. But
do you think that would create chances though? 3-5-2?
No, I don't.
No, I
honestly don't think he knows how to get a tune out of these players. These players aren't bad players.
3-5-2 is what Man United did today because they didn't want to concede any goals. They didn't want to concede goals.
Question. Realistically, this is the question. How would you break down that United team today with the formation and players they had in position?
How would I have broken it down?
What would you have done? I'm asking.
One of two things. Like Sam said, you either have to attack from both wings, or either play a risky 3-4-3. Because, like you said, Bruno wasn't playing centre mid. They had two centre mids that Hojbjerg and Skip can deal with. So you either
see what happens with us at 4-3-3, mate. It's suicide.
No, 3-4-3, 3-4-3. So you have 3 at the back. You have 3 at the back. You have 2 midfielders who can work hard, and then you've got 2 players out wide. You're doubling up on those wingers. Otherwise, I don't know what you can't go through the middle and the free. You cannot play through the middle when there's 3 at the back. You cannot.
So
do
what
that.
you do?
So you flood the wings. You have to flood the wings.
Is you create overloads in the wide areas. You create
3-4-3
overloads in wide areas.
You pull those 3 apart.
Exactly. So what you can do is you can maybe slightly tweak it to make sure that you've got 2 wide players. So you've got your fullback, and then you put the wider player out, because then your number 10 can effectively become a second forward if that's how you play. Because what they were doing, they didn't have 3 in midfield because Bruno was playing too high up. They only had Scott and Fred. So you could have pushed your holder, which would have been Lo Celso, almost joining the attack with Harry Kane, and also with the other 2 inside. But then you can also get them to play wide and create overloads. Bring one of the centre backs out and create gaps in there. But then you've got to have good passing in the final third. We haven't got good passing in the final. That's where it breaks down. If you looked at some of the shit that we did in the final third, it's not good enough. So even if we had that, the final third is not good enough. That's where he has to work in training. But I don't know if he can, because he's a defensive-minded coach. And that's the problem we've got. Pep Guardiola will be able to get that. Jurgen Klopp will be able to get that. Tuchel will be able to see exactly what needs to be done in-game. Not at the start. In-game is when you make them decisions. Right, they're playing 3-5-2. Right, get out wide. Create overloads down that 2v1s. Pull Harry Maguire out of position. Brad hadn't played for weeks. Pull him out. Create gaps. But make sure that you then use the ball in the final third to create opportunities. And we're shocking at that. That's it. We're done. We ain't got it. I think I need to go. I need to get something to eat and a drink.
Preferably alcohol.
Mike, Darius, Sean, Deji, Marlon, and all the guests that are watching, thank you. We had up to 200 people in the live chat, which is fantastic, phenomenal for us. Thanks to all of you for the super chats as well. Thank you for sticking with the show. We will continue to do this. We don't go hiding like some other channels. We are here all the time, and we will continue to be here all the time. So, gentlemen, I think it's time to go. Thank you very much. We'll see you again soon.